Eastern PA Weather 30 Meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for October 7th, 2016 for your Friday. We're going to have partly sunny skies today. High pressure is going to be off to the east and moving to the east, and we'll get clouds increasing in the overnight hours. This down to our south here, of course, is Hurricane Matthew, and this is going to be moving up the coastline after making landfall in eastern Florida overnight. Now, this is going to parallel the coastline and move up the coast, but we are not going to get any of the effects here, except as a trough axis moves eastward, which is sitting way back here at this point. This is now Friday morning. This is going to catch up to this and push it eastward. It is going to have a little bit of moisture from this right here is in association with Matthew, and it's going to try to get along the frontal boundary, but I do think that sticks out here in central PA and west central PA more so than our area. So we'll move this a little bit forward here, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. We go to the evening hours. You can see some of this moisture getting pulled up as Matthew gets near Jacksonville. This should be in the evening hours. Cold front continuing to move eastward. We're going to have an increase of clouds as this high pressure moves off to the east and this cold front approaches, and you get this these bands out ahead of it. They're going to move up here. These are very weak bands. I don't want to anybody think these are like hurricane bands or anything, or any wind with it. It's none of the above. The hurricane itself will be down here by the just east of Savannah here as we get into early Saturday morning, or it's projected to. Again, just riding the coastline, and then the feeder band or whatever moisture feed, tropical connection will get into western Pennsylvania. But as that moves eastward, you can see it starts to lessen as it gets into central PA. And then it lessens even more as it gets over to the eastern side of the state. So I'm not expecting a lot of rain for this. This is just along the cold front. That's it. Nothing really going on. No real tropical enhancement here. And all the heavy rain will be down here over South Carolina and North Carolina during the day on Saturday. Moving out of Georgia later in the day on Saturday. And this system here, we're going to get a better look at this. This is now looking at the same time Friday morning. It should be up here just around or maybe near Daytona Beach, I think this is. Yeah, Daytona Beach, somewhere right around Daytona Beach early on Friday morning. And then it's going to continue to move off to the northeast. And when it does so, it's going to be, if this frame will ever update, here we go. It's near Jacksonville here by Friday evening. And then here we get into just east of Savannah by Saturday morning. And by Saturday evening, we are just southeast of Charleston, but it's still pretty close to the coastline here. Now, the models are still trying to take this thing east and then again southeast and doing one of these loop numbers. And then this out here in your picture to the right is actually Hurricane Nicole. These two are trying to play off each other and try to play like a little pinball thing here, a Fujiwara effect here. And this is going to send this back toward Florida, but not in the same intensity. Don't get the wrong idea here, like we got another hurricane coming in here. This is going to be a tropical storm at this point, because the trough that's coming into the northeast is going to bring us some cooler weather as we get to Sunday and beyond. Is actually going to shear this apart once it gets up here by the Carolinas. So as it makes this turn around here, and Nicole, same thing, just a probably a tropical storm at this point, but it's going to push us back toward Florida next week, and whether it makes landfall or not is really not a big deal, because it's going to be very weak and you don't see very much precipitation or anything going with it. I don't expect this to be an attack system at this point. Nicole also will stay away from this area, so don't get worried about that either. And then we get back to our area here. This system moves off the coast. Again, total rainfall from this, a little bit more out here in the mountains of central PA possible. Might get maybe slightly over a half inch in some of those areas, but everywhere else we are under a half inch, into some cases well under a half inch, maybe a tenth, 2/10 of an inch. Some places not even that. So not looking a lot of precipitation out of this with this cold front passage on Saturday, and this will start earlier in the day out in these areas. But I think you should end in most areas in Pennsylvania by about mid-afternoon, maybe late afternoon down here in these areas right here, and then should be off the coast by the evening hours further south and east. So it shouldn't be a big worry either way on Saturday. Let's go a little bit forward from this point. We already showed you what the hurricane is going to do. That's going to sink off to the south. High pressure is going to build into our area, and we're going to have a fantastic couple of days. Actually, temperatures are going to head to slightly below normal for several days as we get into Columbus Day Monday. Should be temperatures about 5 degrees below normal, what they should be for this time of year. and very comfortable though, very autumn-like, and that should go into the middle of the week. We're expecting mostly sunny conditions to continue, and that's because the high pressure is going to be in control. Once we get into later in the week into Wednesday, here's our the extent of our forecast coverage days here to the middle of next week, and again, we're still mostly sunny. No precipitation to worry about here. Out here in the Bob is Nicole. And again, that's going to be moving away off to the northeast. That is not going to be affecting our area, so do not worry about that either. So just make sure you check on if you have any friends or family down here, anywhere from Florida, east coast of Florida. You might not be able to get through to them down there if they don't have power, but we'll see if you can get a hold of them and see if everybody's okay. And just make sure everybody along these areas here has made their final preparations, because it does look like the hurricane will be affecting these areas at some point today, starting into southern Georgia, but I think you have another day here to play with. You have another day to prepare in South Carolina. Some tremendous rainfall in some of these areas too, even if the winds aren't as incredible as they are in eastern Florida. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for October 7th, 2016. Have a great Friday.